Banshee is a B&M inverted coaster at Kings Island and has a track length of 4,124 feet, a height of 167 feet, a drop of 150, a speed of 68 miles per hour, and has 7 inversions. So as you can see by the stats, it is a pretty massive B&M invert. Not the tallest or the fastest, I don't think, but I believe it is the longest B&M inverted coaster, and one of the most inverting, I believe. Alpengeist is taller and probably faster as well, but Banshee definitely stacks up with the bigger ones like Montu and Alpengeist. And I do not personally know if it's better. This is one of only 2 B&M inverts I've ridden, the other being Batman. But it's still very good. I prefer it to Batman, and we'll see why with the POV. So here is the POV provided by the park. As you can see, there's no pre-drop here. It just goes straight in, and it's also fairly steep. So in the back, you really get whipped down it. Not really any airtime though. Here's the dive loop, which you really feel the rattle up there. Still isn't horrible, but you do get some hang time as well. Here's that huge vertical loop over the lift hill, which is pretty cool, especially off-ride. Zero G-roll, again, not really much whip, but still a fun inversion. And here you go into the pretzel knot, which is pretty much like a batwing, but the entrances and exit of it kind of cross over, while a batwing, it's off to the side. And that's a pretty fun inversion. Most forceful part of the route, I would say. Here's another vertical loop, feels the exact same as the other one. And here comes my favorite inversion of the ride right here, the inline twist. It's so slow and you get so much hang time. And yeah, it's just a really good inversion. The only inversion I like better that I've been on is probably the reverse top hat on Mr. Freeze. So Banshee is a very fun ride, definitely a re-rideable coaster. And a lot of people say it has a rattle, or even some people say it's rough. Now, I do think it has a rattle. I only got one ride on it when I went, and it was in the back row. It was in the one of the 2 middle seats. It wasn't on an edge seat, so it'd probably be worse on an edge, but in the middle, in the back, it definitely was noticeable, but it wasn't rough or anything like that. If you ride Racer at the same park, you'll know what rough is. But yeah, I like Banshee. It is my least favorite B&M at the park, but I mean, when you have a gig and a hyper, it's kind of tough to compete with those, at least for me, because I like airtime. But still, this is a very good coaster. Definitely ride it when you're at Kings Island. Personally, it's my 4th favorite at the park, behind Mystic Timbers, Orion, and Diamondback. But I do like it more than like a Batman clone, for example. But yeah, it's a very good coaster. It has some good theming in the queue, not really on ride. And the restraints, the vest restraints, I wasn't sure how that feel, but yeah, they were pretty comfortable. Didn't really get any airtime with them, unlike the other restraints that B&M uses usually. But yeah, they were comfortable. They didn't really staple me, at least not on my ride. And yeah, it's a very good ride, and you should definitely ride it when going to Kings Island.